Okay, so today I'm doing my first tray, and I made the Geode, the tray Geode form from silicone cork on a silicone mat. I've lined it with these wonderful crushed shells and some of this shiny sparkly stuff. These are the handles I'm going to use in the tray, and the colors I'm using are this beautiful pearlescent Azuma Gold. Gorgeous pearlescent Azuma Gold. And I'm going to be using the Liquitex acrylic ink. If you could say that, more power to you. Phthalo Cyanine Green. It's my attempt at it. Also Indie Ink Black by F&W. I used some white by F&W. And I used purple. Let's see, I threw the bottle. Don't throw the bottle away because it emptied. Now here it is. F&W's Purple Lake. I did buy more of that. I like that color. And let's see, I think that's it. So I might add more colors, but for now I might add some of this blue. You can say that. Maybe, maybe not, but I think that's what it said this one is. Well, this one's green shade, and this one's, I think, blue shade. Blue-green shade. Okay. I might add some of that. Of course, I'm going to use glitter. And, okay. I'm going to put it on pause a minute. Stir up my resin. This is going to take quite a bit of resin. This is a pretty big tray. But I'm going to try not to make it too thick. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, so I've mixed up 20 ounces of resin. That should be plenty of resin, I hope. So, and I've got the cups ready with the colors I'm going to use. So because this is resin and I'm using gloves, I'm not going to touch the camera at all. And let's hope it stays on. You can fast forward through the parts you're bored with, okay? Like all the stirring. So here we go, I'm going to start. Put glitter. I put glitter in the resin. It's huge, 20 ounces, that should be plenty. I got to work quickly. I've got about 35 minutes to work with this resin, so here we go. I'm going to pour into each cup of color some resin. You can always add more. I'm going to try to preserve some. I'm going to use a lot of this gold color, so I'm going to put a lot in here. But I want to make sure I've got some in all of them. Sure if I'm going to need all of it, but I've got another mold ready on the side over there in case I don't need all this resin. I don't waste resin. I'll pour it in that other extra mold. This is black. Okay, so I saved quite a bit of white. Got about 8 ounces left. Clear. Oh, I forgot the white. I got to put some in the white. I'm not sure what you're singing. Yep, okay, that's good. Put some in the white and then stir everything. Okay, good. So let me stir these quick. You want to fast forward to this, that's fine. It's just white with glitter that was in the resin. And the black, how Probably made too much of this. I'm sure I made too much black. Sometimes you really have to think more ahead. And the turquoisey teal color. This I probably could have made a little more of. Beautiful color. Those of you who just love turquoise or mint green or whatever you want to call this. And it did have sprinkles in it. And then the golden yellow, which is what I want to make a lot of it, this color. I've already put the handles in. Okay, this is pretty well mixed in now. That's a gorgeous golden color. I love it. And I will post the colors I use at the, like I always do. The ones I'll take a picture of them and post them. Get these out of my way. So I'm ready to pour them in. I'm going to start with the, whoops, I got one here. The one was missing. Forgetting about. Oh, the purple. Yes, the purple. Ooh, yeah. Purple Lake. Ooh, that's gorgeous. These are all acrylic ink. So far, I'm not using any alcohol ink. If you use alcohol ink, you cannot torch because it's flammable. So these acrylic inks, you can. So I would use the alcohol ink after I've finished torching. And the torching is for bursting bubbles. Okay. So now all the colors are ready. All right. This is the top, and the handles are here. So I have to think about the fact that, oh, this thing is moving. Great. I have to think about the fact that I'm not going to use the bottom side of this like sometimes I do with coasters. This is going to be it, the top. These stones and everything, I want these all to show on top. I don't want this to be too thick, and I put an arrow here to show myself don't go any deeper than what I see here. This is much higher than I actually need. So I'm going to try to discipline myself not to go as high as this, because it would be too thick a piece, too heavy, too thick. So first I'm going to start with the gold in the middle. Now I really don't know how this is going to turn out. Put the gold in the middle. Scrape it all out. Scrape it all out. I like just like kind of a marbleized effect looking tray. I don't want it to be too heavy. So I don't want the resin to be too thick. Too heavy. I put the handles in already. I'm going to put this green in next. No, change my mind. I'm going to put the purple in next. So I like purple and yellow. I like green and yellow too. But I just think this would just look beautiful next to each other. At the end, I'm going to put clear over the stones so that you'll still see the stones. I'm not going to put color because I find that when you put color over things, you don't see them anymore. You see them from the bottom, but in the case of this piece, I'm not going to use the bottom because the handles are in the top here. I'm not going to use the bottom. So I need to make sure that, oh, it's pretty. I love the colors. Very pretty. I might have to use the heat gun and just let them melt into each other. Okay. So now I'm going to use the green turquoise, and I'm going to make sure my handles are covered. That's the only thing I'm thinking about here, is make sure my handles are covered. And I'm going to do it on this side too. Straighten it out first before I put the resin. The resin will cement them in. I want them in pretty deep. And I might make more of this green up. I really like this green. I've never made a tray before. So we're going to see what happens. It's going to be what it's going to be. It's going to be pretty though. I hope the colors are pretty. I could always add alcohol inks in after I torch, not before that. And the same thing with these stones and everything. They're getting covered right now with this stuff. We're not going to see them from the bottom. And it might have been a smarter idea to put the resin in and then put them on top, showing, and just put them just below the surface, which I might still do. Just put more of them in. Okay, so it looks like it's sticking already. All right, so now I've got black left and white left. And I think I'm going to put the white. And I might have to make it more clear, because the clear is going to go over all of the shells. I want the shells to show. Like I said, the back part of this is not going to matter. So this is the top of the tray. Pretty cool, actually, so far. I still have the black, and I might change my mind about the black. I don't know. So far, it's not very high. I'm going to have to put a lot more clear resin. And into that resin, I'll add sparkle. So I get a really nice glittery surface. Okay. Ooh, it's pretty. I'm loving it. I really want to preserve the stones. I really want them to show. I'm going to put a little bit of black. Just a little bit. I'm not going to use the whole thing. I'm going to use it in my other mold over there that I've got on the side. Now, I'm just going to be really careful where I put this. The edge almost like an edger. Wow. Woohoo! It's pretty. I don't think I want to use any more of this black. So I'm going to just leave it over there. And then I'm going to take my clear resin. Now would be the time to add more sparkle in it or not. And I'm going to put it over these rocks. Over these rocks. I'm going to add extra sparkle in there of these after that on top, right on top. But I want them not to sit on the surface. Okay. I might have to make more of this resin up if it doesn't cover the rock sufficiently. Let's see. It's got to cover them sufficiently. I think, just looking at it right now, I'm thinking I'm going to have to make more. This is going to cement these rocks in. It's also pushing some of this in. It's very pretty. I think I will have to make some more resin up. Now that side's getting pretty high, which I didn't want it to get that high, but I have to cover the rocks. Maybe I should have put a more shallow amount of rocks. Resin is self-leveling, so it's going to just level itself out right across the whole surface. That little bit of left there. Oh, high. No, not too bad. Okay. I could let this get hard or semi-hard for a few hours and then put some more rocks. I mean, not rocks, shiny things. And then pour another thin layer of coat of resin on top of them. The thing I'm trying to avoid is this coming up too high. I mean, this is a very high border, and I really don't want it that high. So I think what I might do actually is leave this, let this dry, at least semi-dry, you know, to a certain softness, maybe 5 hours instead of 24 hours. Let it harden a little. And then add another coat of, now let me see where it needs it. Be careful where it needs it. Gotta be really careful. I don't want it coming up too high in certain areas. Alright, that's good there. And I want to cover this, make sure the shells are covered. Shells are covered. I also can poke them down, which I'm going to do. I am going to poke some down. Definitely. Alright, good. Pretty good. I really don't want it thicker than this. This is beginning to do some swimmy stuff. Beautiful, beautiful stuff in there. Like I said, the other side is not going to matter. I don't care how beautiful it is, the handles are here on the top. So this is what has to count. Checking and making sure. Now some of these are going to have to really be pushed down to the surface, down a little more into the resin, especially if I don't want them sticking up out of the resin when it dries, because this is going to be a tray. It's going to be the serving side, so I don't want it stuff sticking up out of it, protruding. Take your time doing this. This is important that you get them below the surface. You just got to move them around a little. So they're hardening up already. You want to get them below the surface. And I want to get them off the edge. Into the border of the molds. There's a lot of them sticking up in here. I'm going to to really push these, and I might need another stick to help me push them where I want, because they're resisting a little. Oh, this little stick seems to be working better. This might take a while, guys, so you might want to fast forward. What I'm doing is just pushing all these rocks down into the resin and away from climbing up the edge of the mold. So I'll take a break, stop this video. Well, actually, I'm pretty much, this is all I'm going to do to this. I don't think I'm even going to put, I might put a few more sparkles here of these in and push them down into there like this. Oops, I wanted the shiny side up. See if I can get this one with the shiny side up. Let's push it just below the surface so it'll show, but not be protruding out. So I'm going to do a little bit of that, torch it, go around and make sure all these are down, and then I have to decide whether or not, I really don't want this resin higher than this, than that bond. I really don't want it, except in a few places. Okay, I'm going to shut it off and I'll bring you in for close-up later. Okay, so what I did was, I don't know why it went off, so I'll do it again. I'm going to put some more clear resin just right along the edge here. 2 ounces, I made more, that's all. I don't want it as high as this border. I could always make this higher if it's not thick enough after. But for now, this was my spot where I said that's as high as I'm going to go, and it's almost there. The rocks and pebbles here, the seashells, they can stick out a little because everything is going to sit on this is right in the middle, which will be flat. They're not going to sit on the edge here. So these can protrude a little, but I'm working at pushing them down a little more. So I pulled out some of this with tip of the stick to make little veins like that. And I think after I just put in this other layer of resin, I'm going to stop and let this harden. So that's it for today. Okay, I put the other 2 ounces of resin in, and I didn't want it as high as this border because the border's very high. So I put an arrow here of how high I wanted it to go, no higher than this edge here, which was a little lower than all the other ones. Like this one's really high, as you can see, so I didn't bring it up as high on that one. The resin is self-leveling, so it will spread out, and so far it hasn't exceeded this edge. So that's a good thing, because I've been known to have it flood over, and I don't want that to happen. It's a pain in the neck. So far, everything's right where it's supposed to be. And I added some purple, a little sparkle, this little sparkle stuff, which probably will sink to the bottom. The bottom's not going to matter. And I just hope my handles, I can get my fingers under there. I think so far I can. So you don't want that resin any higher. And I'll clean the resin, some of the clear resin that got on it with alcohol. But for now, guys, I think it's pretty spectacular. What should I call it? I was thinking of volcano, because it kind of looks like a volcano about ready to erupt. All right, I'll let you see it when it comes out of the mold in a day or so. Bye for now. Okay, guys, I'm going to just show you a short video of everything that I used, the colors. Of course, I used resin. It was about 20 ounces, and then another 2 ounces after. That's what I use. Pro Marine tabletop epoxy. It's A and B, and you get, and then stir for 2 minutes, and you equal amounts and stir for 2 minutes. You can add glitter to it, I used F&W white, Liquitex, Phthalo Cycloline green blue shade, Liquitex Cycloline blue green shade. I used F&W's black. I used pearlescent liquid acrylic, glitter. These wonderful things, you can look at them all at Michael's, and I use these. I got these at Michael's. And I used the Pearlex. So that's what I used. So it's quite a bit that goes into it, isn't there? But I think it's gorgeous, and I'll show you it in a couple of days. Bye for now.